Are you guys ready? I'm back at it again, and we are doing some extreme decluttering and organizing again. Today I'm in a new space, a new house, back at my sister-in-law's, and we're going to be transforming their pantry and under their sink. I'm going to be giving you some kitchen organization solutions and tons of cleaning motivation. So let's get ready and let's do this for the new year.
We were crazy in love, careless and young, but I wouldn't change it. You had me right from the start, you gave me your all, but something changed, yeah. And I sometimes drive.
Hello to all of my wonderful friends. Thank you for being here. And are you ready? I like to ask you that. Are you ready? So this is a 2-day clean, declutter, and organize with me. This is a video I'm really excited about because I'm organizing 2 new spaces at my sister-in-law's house. They recently renovated, in the fall, they recently renovated their kitchen, and I was going to completely organize, declutter their pantry and under their sink. So hopefully I can motivate you or maybe give you some organization ideas or solutions. But that will be on day 2. This was on night 1. I was this was before I was going to go over to their house, and I will tell you, this was right before Christmas. So my sister-in-law, they were having family over for Christmas, so we had planned, I went over a couple days before Christmas. So this night before, when I was getting my house cleaned up, it was before Christmas. So if you see some Christmas decorations or a Christmas tree up, that is why. But she had asked me if I'd come over because we wanted their house to be pretty nice before the holidays. So this was part 1, was filmed a little bit before Christmas.
And I think that's why you've been building up this wall now, and I don't really know how I'm supposed to break it down. I tried peeking through the cracks, saw the light but couldn't catch it. Now the wall is breaking down. You should let me love you. You're making it so hard to. You've been building up this wall now, and I don't really know how I'm supposed to break it down. I know, baby, I know I drive you crazy, but don't pull away from me. I know, baby, I know I drive you crazy, but don't pull away from me. You've been building up this wall now, and I don't really know how I'm supposed to break it down. You should let me love you. You're making.
This video is going to be filmed over 2 days. So like I said, this was night 1. Avery had basketball practice. Yes, basketball practice. And Mike is her coach. He coaches all of her sports, all of her basketball and soccer and volleyball and all of that. And they were at basketball and I was at home. It was after dinner. I had the twins at home and I was trying to get stuff cleaned up. We were playing Cocomelon, so they love songs. Like, that's their go-to songs. They love to dance. So they had Cocomelon on TV and they were dancing and singing, and I was trying to get some stuff done.
Tell me what your name is. Tell me what you like and all your secrets. I just wanna go over the details. Let me inside of your mind. I know I just met you, but something tells me that you might be into talking to a stranger with a tattoo. Baby, I'm one of a kind. There's a reason we're here. There's a vibe in the air that neither you or me could deny. Boy, I see how you stare up and down everywhere. I can tell you're far from shy. So let's talk till we drop, or do we
I will say that it's not always easy to get cleaning with the twins done. I know it looks like it's easy, but that's a facade because it is not easy to get cleaning done when I'm with them. We're at the point, which is kind of nice, where I can get little bits of cleaning done with them finally. Like, it's been a long, almost 3 years, but finally I can get some cleaning done with them if they're in good moods and they're not fighting, because with twins, they're always fighting. But I can get a little bit of cleaning done, but I just want to be honest with you because it's not always easy for me to get cleaning done, but tonight it honestly wasn't too bad. But if you guys are new here, I just always like to say thank you for being here. I always want you guys to feel welcomed when you're here on Jamie's journey, when you're here watching my videos. I want you to feel like you belong, that this is a community. There's a lot of people leaving comments. This is a community. This is not just a YouTube channel. This is a community, and I want you to feel like you belong. I want you to get something out of this. Maybe I'm a friend hanging out with you. Maybe we're chatting back and forth. Maybe I'm giving you a little bit of stories about my life and it's interesting to you. Maybe I'm just keeping you company. Whatever it is, I just hope that I'm giving you something. Maybe it's motivation to declutter or clean or whatever it is. I am grateful for you. I'm grateful that you're here. I have twins, as you can see, Addison and Emery. They will be 3 in March, which it's really crazy for me to even say they're going to be 3 in March. What? I can't even wrap my head around that. It's so crazy to me. And I actually started my YouTube journey because I was in a very deep and dark place struggling with infertility. We hadn't even gone through IVF. We had to go through IVF to get pregnant with Addison and Emery, and I was on just fertility medication to get pregnant with my oldest, Avery, who is in 1st grade. She will be 7 in April, so she's currently 6. But I started my channel because I was struggling with infertility, and I will talk a little bit more about that here later on in my video. But I've been married to Mike since 2009. That's when we got married. We got engaged in 2008, the year we graduated from college. We've been dating on and off since we were in middle school, but dating consistently since we were 15. And we went to middle school, high school, and college together. And he is my best friend, my other half. And it's just nice to be able to share parts of my life with you guys. I love cleaning, decluttering, and organizing. It is a passion of mine. Clutter and like a messy house gives me anxiety. And I just want to provide something for you guys. I want to create a supportive community here. So thank you for being here. I know that you don't have to spend your time with me. Your time is precious. So the fact that you make time for my videos means the world to me, and I appreciate you. Okay, so clearly I am not at my house, but if you guys have been subscribed for a while, then you probably recognize this house as my sister-in-law's house. So I organized parts of her kitchen a couple of months ago. I think it was in October, and they recently renovated their kitchen. I'll put up some pictures of their old kitchen just so you guys can like see the dramatic transformation, and it looks beautiful. But along with organizing her kitchen, we also wanted to organize the pantry and under the sink, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. And one of my biggest and like first pieces of advice when it comes to organizing is don't overwhelm yourself. Take it slow, one step at a time, one area at a time. So tackling the kitchen, like the kitchen drawers, pantry, under the sink was going to be way too much for me. So I decided to break it up, and I did some drawers and all of that and cabinets a couple of months ago. I'll have that video linked down below. And today we were focusing on the pantry and under the sink. I have done their pantry before. It was completely using Dollar Tree products. I'm going to be reusing a lot of those products. Some of the products worked, have lasted the past couple of years. Some of the products have not lasted. So we'll be switching out the products, organizational products that did not work, and then I'm bringing in some new ones on a budget, and then reusing some of the Dollar Tree ones. So hopefully we can get this looking a lot nicer, and hopefully it will last this time. So all of the products that I'm using in today's video will be linked in the description. So I want to throw that out there. So if you're looking for something specific, go to the description. I know it's a little bit difficult to find, but I promise you have to do 2 drop downs. You have to do a arrow drop down and then read more, but all of the organizational solutions are down there. But it's nice when I'm doing all of this cleaning and organizing to just chat with you. It's a new year. How are you guys doing? Are you hanging in there? What do you think about this new year? I know it's just been a long past couple of years for everybody, but a lot of us are looking at ways to be healthier and take charge of our health. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I've read or listened to some podcasts about how to utilize your cycle for productivity. And I'm not an expert at all, but I listened to a podcast recently that said throughout a woman's cycle, the rise and fall of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, it can affect your mood, productivity, and focus. And so how to utilize those hormones to be the best you. And it really stuck out to me because I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's a hormone imbalance that often results in irregular periods and lack of ovulation, which means my hormones are not always where they should be. Even in a normal woman's cycle, my hormones are out of whack. PCOS is also the reason for my infertility and why it took us years to get pregnant, and why we had to go on fertility drugs and go through IVF. I remember feeling really alone when I was struggling with infertility, and when I was eventually diagnosed with PCOS, I felt very alone. I felt out of control. I didn't know who I could go to talk to, and this is how Jamie's journey started. I started my channel. In fact, my first video that I ever made was I was in a low point of not being able to get pregnant. And I felt that I wanted and needed answers, and I wanted a community. So I went to YouTube to create my own community because I couldn't find one, and I was feeling out of control and frustrated. And while I'm not trying to get pregnant anymore, something I am very passionate about is sharing my infertility story with people. I remember how alone I felt, and I wish I had the community and the support and answers back in 2012 when I was trying to get pregnant and I couldn't. So I feel like it's one of those missions to spread awareness about infertility or PCOS. And there were a lot of red flags and signs that I may have had issues, but I totally ignored them. And today, you hear about food sensitivity tests, genetic testing, and now there's modern fertility. And modern fertility makes personalized fertility information and support more accessible for people with ovaries everywhere. They provide fertility essentials, including at-home tests and tools to help people be proactive about reproductive health. So if you know someone struggling with infertility, or maybe you don't know anyone, but I guarantee someone in your life will struggle with infertility, unfortunately. 1 in 8 couples are affected by infertility. Or maybe you're like, no, I'm past that stage of my life. Well, I will tell you, same here. No more kids. The shop is closed. I'm completely done having kids, but modern fertility can also give you more insight on your hormones and menopause. They also look at thyroid health, which can impact everything from your skin to your energy levels to your fertility, and even something like PCOS. While that is something that prevented me from getting pregnant, it is a lifelong disease that I never would have known I had. If I didn't try, if I decided I never wanted to have kids or get pregnant, I never would have known that I had PCOS. And my modern fertility results showed signs of PCOS. That if I would have taken this test back in 2012 when we first started trying to get pregnant, I wish I had modern fertility back then. I would have been able to take those to my doctor so they could dig deeper into my fertility. I didn't know I had PCOS until I started to try to get pregnant, and I actually wasn't diagnosed until after a year and a half of trying. I talked to my doctor, but nothing came out of it. I remember I went to her before we were trying to get pregnant, my mom between 1978 and 1990 was only able to get pregnant 4 times, and only 2 of the 4 were viable pregnancies. And I remember she had a lot of issues. She had multiple miscarriages, and I told that to my doctor, and she was like, "Why did your mom have trouble?" And I said, "I don't know. My mom was never diagnosed with anything, back in the late 70s or early 80s." And so that's just where it ended. And I always had this feeling that I was going to have trouble, but we didn't really have answers. And so when I took the modern fertility test, the blood test, it showed signs that I had PCOS. And even though I'm done having kids, it's good to know that this is something that I have. It affects my hormones, how my body processes carbs and sugar. And 1 in 10 women have PCOS, and off it goes undiagnosed. So there are so many answers that modern fertility can give you.
So tell me what I need to know. Tell me what I need to know. And stop the charade. Let's stop the charade. Stop the charade. Stop the charade. I don't play no games.
And let's talk about costs. I don't even want to go down the road of how much money, hundreds of thousands of dollars we have spent trying to get pregnant. But with modern fertility, at just $159, it can give you access to information that you need to help you plan for your future. And by taking this test throughout modern fertility, I feel like I gained control over my health. Control is something that I feel like I lost when I was trying to get pregnant. I remember feeling relieved when I found out I was diagnosed with PCOS. I finally had an answer, but that was after a year and a half after I'd already started trying to get pregnant. And any person going through infertility will tell you that they feel out of control. Or even with my PCOS, my body doesn't work like others when it comes to periods and hormones. So by taking this test, it validated my PCOS and made me feel like I had the tools to take control of my body. Again, you may be thinking, I'm totally done with that stage in my life. I'm not trying to get pregnant, but you know what? You could help someone in your life who is struggling to get pregnant and just help them, maybe give them some answers or the tools or some insight before they try. Or maybe you're curious about menopause and how your hormones are doing as you near that stage of your life. Modern fertility tests can give you some answers so you can start a conversation with your doctor. I get messages every single day from women who are diagnosed with PCOS, and they're looking for tools and information. Modern fertility isn't just a blood test. They have tools, resources, blog posts, and an online community that made me, when I dug deeper into this, when I got my test results, I felt like I wasn't so alone with my diagnosis and with my infertility and all of that. And that really helps you when you feel like you're not alone. Just go to modernfertility.me/Jamie's Journey or click the link below in the description to get $20 off the hormone test. So that means it will only cost you $139 versus the hundreds it would cost you that it cost me to go through your doctor's office. So get to know your fertility status and be able to plan ahead with Modern Fertility. That's modernfertility.me/Jamie's Journey or click the link below in the description, and the code will be automatically applied at checkout for $20 off. So like I said, I will have everything linked below, but these really cool, big, semi-clear containers. I mean, they're clear, but they're a little bit cloudy, if that makes sense. I got from Walmart, and they're super, super cheap. And I just like how they're big, because the containers we used before from the Dollar Tree, now listen to me, it's always nice to go as cheap as possible when you're organizing, because let's be honest here, we always want to go and spend the least amount of money as possible. But I did this 2 years ago, and it just didn't last for them. Like, not everything did. So the containers you're seeing me do now, those are from the Dollar Tree, and those have lasted for their oatmeal and their noodles and things like that. But as far as like containing the bigger categories of bigger items, the dollar store containers didn't last. So I feel like Walmart is a good budget alternative, and these are fairly new. So I like how they're big and new, or big and spacious, and I kind of like how they're a little bit clear. So I got those from Walmart. I got this can organizer from Amazon. Again, I will have everything linked down below. The rice and oatmeal containers I got from the Dollar Tree, and then the cereal containers that you're seeing me do, those are from Amazon. Those will also be linked below. I feel like I've done a lot of organizing, and that I've scoped out everything, and I try to go as low budget and as cheap, cheap dollar amount, like not cheap as in quality, as possible. But sometimes you just need to spend the money. And so the cereal containers we got 2 years ago, and we're still utilizing them. We're still using them, and they're still working. Same thing. I have the same cereal containers from Amazon, and they're still working. So they obviously lasted over 2 years. So I kind of think they're worth it. And then the spaghetti container was from Walmart.
If I want to remain sane, but you ghosted every text and call. Oh no. You could be running off with somebody else. Ooh, boy, I ask myself, yeah. Wait, maybe you're just off doing what you said. Ooh, think I've lost myself. Tell me what's the hold up, baby. Tell me why your phone's off lately. I don't wanna go off crazy, but I think I'm losing it. Tell me where your heart is these days. Are you being honest?
The divided Lazy Susan that I put their bars in. So my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, I always say my sister-in-law just because, you know, she's the one that I mainly communicate with, obviously, but I have my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. They have a daughter who is 2 months older than the twins. So they had her bars, their type of like granola bars or like oatmeal bars or whatever in the divided Lazy Susan, and then the like normal Lazy Susans with the gray top. I got those from Amazon. And then something else we wanted to utilize this time, since this was like the second time around organizing, in the bigger white containers, they're called Y-weave containers. I got those from Target, and we put them on the bottom of the pantry, which you'll see when I like go through and tell you where everything is from here when I give you the overview. Those were more for overstock. So they have a really, really big pantry, which I think is a little bit more unique than most people. I mean, like most people don't have that big of a walk-in pantry, but they wanted or needed more of like an overflow. So they buy a lot of canned foods, and then like when like they're big cereal eaters, so they have a lot of extras. When things go on sale, they buy those. They didn't need a lot of overflow bins, but they needed some overflow bins for when they get those like sale prices. And I think a lot of us are the same. We have those like specific things that we always like to keep on hand, that we always like to keep like an extra. Like I know specifically for us, pancakes, frozen pancakes, the kids love. We always like to make sure those are in hand. So that's just an example, even though it's not a pantry staple. Things that you always want to keep on hand. It's good to have like an overstock area, and they wanted like big bins, and we try to go more lower budget, but sometimes you just need those big bins and something to match, and we went with Target with those.
Honest with me, I don't wanna go this cray, but I think I'm losing it bad. I think I'm losing it.
And then I was using my Cricut Joy machine. It's the smallest Cricut machine that you can buy. It's the cheapest, and I use it to make all of my labels. It just makes it so easy to label everything. It's not fancy, it's not complicated, it's pretty straightforward, and that's why I love it. So I'm using this to label everything in their pantry, as well as I use it to label things in our bathroom linen closet. So I'll have that. If you guys missed that bathroom linen closet organization video, I will have that link down below. It's all pretty much all Dollar Tree products with a little bit of Walmart. I will have that link below.
I think I'm losing it bad.
I'm done. It feels so good. I told you, it always gets worse before it gets better. You guys saw what this kitchen looked like before. It's like you start, everything's clean, you start pulling things out, and then it gets very overwhelming. But little by little, we got it done. So I'm gonna show you how we did everything and what everything looks now that it's all completed. Okay, so here, and I said this earlier, that we wanted to try to utilize as much as we could from what we used to organize last time. You know, you just never want to spend a lot of money when it comes to organizing, so you try to use what you have first. And all of this, I would say, was done on the best budget for the most part that was possible. So last time we used the Dollar Tree baskets, and they just did not work for them. I mean, obviously Dollar Tree's cheaper, but it was not sustainable for them. And so I found these bins from Walmart, and I love them. They're heavy duty. I think they were like $5. They're nice and big, and I like how they're clear, but they're kind of like, not frosted, but they're not completely clear, which I like. And so we were able to organize the big categories that they always have, like chips, sides, bread, crackers, and then cookies and sweets. We originally had it down there, but we decided to move it up there because of their 3-year-old. She would be able to grab it down there. And so these big categories are going to look different for every person and every family, depending on what categories you always have in your pantry. And then we utilize these Lazy Susans for their nut butters and stuff like that. And this is just kind of like overflow of like sauces and spaghetti sauces and things like that. And Lazy Susans are great. I mean, obviously you don't have a space issue with this pantry, but if you do, you know, it's nice because you can just turn it and be able to see what you have on there. We reuse these cereal containers. I just switched out the labels, noodles. So they have a lot of oatmeal. They mainly eat the pack of oatmeal and then these little cups. This oatmeal is used for baking, like cookies and like energy bites and things like that. So that's why we kept that oatmeal separate. Noodles, rice, powdered sugar, cans. This can organizer is awesome. Now these baskets are for overflow. They have recently been going to Costco and Sam's Club more and just buying a little bit more bulk foods. They don't buy a lot, but they were looking for big baskets, big heavy duty baskets where they could store some of their overflow. Because sometimes, you know, like they'll buy a couple extra boxes of cereal, but it doesn't fit in the containers, and they don't need, you know, 2 containers of the same cereal. So like we just need a place to be able to put the cereal. Like, when, you know, that's our favorite cereal. We get it when it's on sale. So these are like the overflow bins on extra things. So like the applesauce and the syrup, those are things they already have open, and those are just extra. Same thing with the oatmeal. That's a big container of oatmeal that once they use that up, they know it's right down here. She also said they buy a lot of canned foods. They didn't have any extra, and so they plan to also use a bin for overflow when it comes to the cans. So everything is neat and organized in here, labeled, and then they have a spot for overflow for when they buy things on sale. I find that unboxing items really does save you a lot of space. So I think that's one of the key tips with organizing, is being able to unbox what you can is very helpful. Now, for them, space is not an issue, but if space is an issue, unboxing things is super important. Okay, and then down here, obviously, before she thought it was a mess, I was like, it is not that bad at all. But again, just categorizing and putting things into containers. I think sectioning off, putting things into categories and baskets, it helps the organization stay that way because you have a place. So instead of just taking, you know, you get a new Dawn Power Wash, instead of just throwing it under there when you get to the store, because you know you're juggling a lot of things. You get home from, you have a lot of groceries, you're not sure where to put it, you just kind of toss it down there, and that's how things become unorganized. So now she has a space for those extras, the dish soap. She has a space for extra sponges and dishwashing tabs and cloths. So she actually, when she was folding laundry and had some cloths that she just came in and put them in there. So it helps. Having things organized in containers and having things contained helps keep things organized. And so I thought this caddy was really nice. This is something that I probably need, you know, now when she needs to clean her kitchen or wipe things down, she just has to grab the caddy.
They keep on telling lies. That is how we stay alive. So you know that I don't mind about what is wrong and what is right. We keep moving in different rhythms. Still I know what you feel. We keep moving in different rhythms.
So even though I don't have to do this, my sister-in-law was like, Jamie, you do not have to wipe things down. You do not have to vacuum and mop. But it's like, I like to pull the space together when I'm done doing things with vacuuming and mopping or wiping things down and doing all of that. So I packed up my Tinco iFloor 2, and in fact my sister-in-law is totally interested in buying this, so I was like, I'm gonna take it so she can try it out as I was using it. So I wiped things down with my Jaws, or actually she has the Jaws granite cleaner. I got her hooked on that. That's what I always say. If my family utilizes it, you know, I mean, I would never promote a product that I didn't feel passionate or that I would use myself. But you'll see a lot of the products that I use, you'll see when I like clean my parents' home or my sister-in-law's home, you see they have the same products, which means they're really good products. So I wiped things down with the Jaws granite cleaner, and then I was vacuuming and mopping with the Tinco iFloor 2, which is a vacuum and mop combo, which is awesome. And I think I convinced her to get one herself. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you found this video motivating. I hope it gave you some motivation to go tackle your pantry, your closet, your kitchen, your bathroom, whatever it is that you need to organize, declutter and organize. And just keep in mind, do not overwhelm yourself. Take it small, or start small, take it easy, don't overwhelm yourself. Just doing a little bit can make a big difference. Just do a little bit each and every day. There will be more decluttering and organizing videos coming up here on my channel. I'm so grateful to have you guys here in the new year. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of Jamie's journey. I will see you guys next time. Bye.